Sakura's usefulness is something that's been debated from generation to generation for like 2 whole generations. Some praise her abilities to heal, her strength, and other stats that prove the whole Sakura is useless thing is a meme that should remain that way. Kinda like another meme I despise. I'm looking at you, Cabba Solo's Gogeta 4. On the other hand, some people think that she just doesn't measure up to Naruto or Sasuke in any way, and because of this should be considered useless. Well, today I'd like to put the debate to rest by looking at some evidence and making a judgment that will finally answer the question of, is Sakura really that useless? Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you're subscribed, and with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Before we begin, I wish to mention that I plan to separate the video into 2 parts, pros and cons. I will list some of the evidence we've seen for both, and then at the end of the video, I will give you the results. Are you ready? Good. Let's go. Cons. Let's start with the most obvious. Being a simp. The Naruto universe has seen plenty of simps in its time, from every girl in the academy, and Shikamaru apparently for Sasuke, Hinata for Naruto, Obito for Rin, but it only makes sense that we include Sakura on this list. The difference is that her only reason really for becoming a shinobi is to get with Sasuke. The whole point of her story arc through the entire first part is to show that Sasuke is needed, and to give more emotional charge to Sasuke's leaving. Without Sakura, Sasuke's treason is just one teenager running away from home, but with Sakura crying about it, suddenly it's an emotional dilemma. Someone is getting hurt. So now it's time to send the other teenagers out after him. Sakura didn't even go with Naruto, she sat on the sidelines and cried about it. Now, you might expect this to change in the second part, except it doesn't. Sakura continues to spend most of her time crying about Sasuke. I admire the concept of true love and a woman chasing after what she wants. To a point, I feel Hinata could have learned something from Sakura, but there becomes a point where loyalty becomes obsession, and when one character point eventually becomes a detriment. We need to see Sakura grow as a character, and the longer she holds on to things of the past, the more she refuses to grow up. But I won't completely bag on this. There are some points to make about some character growth, and we will speak on that later, but one of the main points is that she puts all of the responsibility on Naruto for the most part, and while we know Naruto probably would have done this anyway, she's not very present in much of the story arcs revolving around bringing Sasuke back. She was there for the Tenchi Bridge mission, and she did help heal Naruto, but she just sorta gets trounced easily, doesn't fight back, and just seems like a lot of wasted movement when Sasuke's glare is all it takes to knock her over. It shouldn't be that way considering the power displays she makes. She should be steamrolling Sasuke. Naruto and Kakashi are both surprised by her strength, so why can't she ragdoll this dude? She had the chance to surpass him before he got the Mangekyo, which he doesn't get until after the fated battle between brothers. She should have smashed him silly, and could have, yet she's treated like nothing. I have a hard time believing that someone whose fist is considered a serious seismic event just can't snap a cheesy-ass sword and crush Sasuke's pretty little face. Oh, maybe that's why. Low emotional control. She doesn't tend to control her emotions very well, particularly in the first part. It can be said that she got a bit better after, but Sakura tends to physically abuse Naruto on more than one occasion, even after he's done nothing. This sets her up to be a, well, hateable character, considering that this is shonen manga and shonen anime designed to appeal to, you guessed it, shonen. And this is considering that boys at that age aren't really interested in girls and instead seek to outdo them. One can say that this is a proper, if not slightly exaggerated, picture of how boys and girls are in real life, but all the same, it didn't do her any favors. As a girl in a show designed to appeal to young boys, she's already at a disadvantage. Her treatment of Naruto turns this slight disadvantage into a full-blown uphill battle that she's going to need severe character development to reverse the damage of. By the second part, she cools it on her emotional and physical abuse, though there are some occasions that remain. It should be noted that this is designed to be comical, and maybe to some it is, but in most cases, some boys just feel it hits too close to home, and instead of making us laugh, it makes us dislike Sakura. Tracking skills are trash. Sakura's ability to track is also called into question during the Itachi Pursuit arc. At this point in time, Sakura is relegated to working with Kakashi's Ninken, Shiba, and Biscuit. Even though she gets a lucky break in tracking one of Sasuke's friends, she still manages to pass them by without even taking notice of her. She isn't written well. For real, I'm looking at my notes over here, and this one con I literally have titled Loser Personality. Sakura makes a lot of mistakes, and a lot of these mistakes, while sometimes understandable, sometimes aren't. Sakura is shown to be used as more of a plot device, making the team feel more. She's used as an emotional device throughout the series, and that can be to stoke our anger, our sorrow, or even sometimes our joy, though rarely. Despite the fact that we know Sakura is competent, she's often displayed as incompetent in an effort to either cause an issue or give a reason for the story to keep going. One such occasion would be when she decided that she would kill Sasuke. This moment right here can actually be considered a pro, and while a lot of people hate the way she played Naruto, I'm not entirely certain that she was intending to hurt him. It's been a while since I've seen that episode, admittedly, but it's also true that I don't ever recall her saying to herself that it wasn't true. She seemed offended when Naruto said he thought she was a liar. She had convinced herself that she hated Sasuke, and then remembering all the good Naruto had done for her, she convinced herself that she loved Naruto instead. So I'm not gonna be one of those who put too much into the whole she toyed with Naruto's heart thing. It's a non-issue. She didn't mean anything bad by it, and she herself probably was confused. That's not enough to throw out the character growth of her making the decision to kill Sasuke, which was the hardest choice possible, considering that she was in love with the man and decided to put her village first, which she would not have been capable of doing in part 1. But every good turn deserves a bad one, because when she finally had caught up to Sasuke, she didn't ambush him, tried to use her strength or anything like that. Instead, she puts her entire team to sleep. That's dumb. All of them together probably could have handled Sasuke, but instead of setting up an ambush, she puts her whole team to bed. That is an unwise choice that hurt her character, especially considering that when she did get the chance to kill Sasuke, she froze and almost got killed by him anyway, proving that, while she was definitely willing, she didn't have the strength to complete it. And even though she gets props for trying to kill him, she gets points deducted for how she failed. Another important moment to remember is her characterization during the war arc. She could have done much more than just healing, but never did. I'm not going to entirely slam her for that. She primarily is a healer. But what I will say is that because she's a healer, she shouldn't have just frozen. Not when Obito literally asks her to destroy his Rinnegan. I just can't wrap my head around it. Why did she hesitate? The guy who just killed so many of your friends, Neji included, is asking you nicely to please destroy the single thing that can stop the even worse villain from destroying society as we know it. And she hesitates. She doesn't destroy the Rinnegan. Now, I can see a reason why Kishimoto wouldn't do it. After all, he needed Madara to get the Rinnegan. But the issue with that is, why would he even make the scenario happen in the first place if he didn't plan to have her do it? And if he needed Madara to have it, then he should have just had her stab it anyway, and then have Madara use Izanagi to undo the damage or something. Kakashi's Sharingan wouldn't be needed much anyway, considering that both eyes can mimic the Kamui of the others, it seems, due to how Madara used it. And as for Kakashi's double Mangekyou Sharingan thing, I don't think Izanagi's cost extends to heaven. Kakashi still could have gotten it. All that choice did was make Sakura look even worse. Sakura's characterization is flawed on a writing level, so it's not entirely her fault. It's just that Kishimoto is inconsistent with how he wishes to portray her, making her look more and more like an unstable damsel in distress rather than the strong kunoichi we know she actually is. And I think that's mostly because Kishimoto tends to use her as a plot device, letting her fulfill the role of side character despite the fact that he wrote her to be a main character. But now that we're done looking at the cons, let's take a look at some pros. Pros. High intelligence. I know, the way I just talked about her before doesn't make her sound very smart. But just as the great Dexter Jetster told Obi-Wan Kenobi,
I should think that you Jedi would have more respect for the difference between knowledge and wisdom.
And that fits well with Sakura. Sakura is by no means stupid, but that doesn't mean she can't be an idiot. Sorry, this is the pros list. I'll try to be a bit more respectful. Sakura has high intelligence. She just hasn't quite learned yet how to put that intelligence to good use. Sometimes her personality gets in the way, but from part 1 to part 2, she displays a lot more wisdom, which naturally comes with age. Some of her greatest feats of intelligence were displayed in the Chunin exams, which we saw her ace a test that most Jonin might need to scratch their head over. She basically broke the game with her intelligence stats. The whole goal of the first part was to see who could cheat without being noticed, with the final question being a test of gutsiness. But that being said, Sakura never had to cheat. She was the one answering the questions correctly without it. And considering how good she was, there was no doubt she would have the confidence to answer the final question. She's just that good. She has her mind packed full of facts and was the one who could tell Naruto and Sasuke just how chakra worked. She was capable of growing into a medical nin of skill unseen by anyone in the village besides Tsunade. Sakura by this point is basically the Surgeon General of Konoha, so she has intelligence, and with age, she's begun to learn how to use it, slowly letting it ferment into the wisdom she requires to be a proper shinobi. Sakura has higher than average chakra control as well. This was evident when she skillfully mastered the ability to run up a tree on her first try while Naruto and Sasuke were floundering. That, added to the strength of 100 seal she has, sees that she can continue to fight for quite some time with very little waste, as control allows one to make their chakra go farther. This also helped her as a medical nin, as chakra control there is considered the difference between life and death. Genjutsu resistance. Sakura is resistant to genjutsu. For the longest time, though this might also be due to her high intelligence stat and chakra control, she not only had the ability to notice genjutsu, but also has the ability to break herself free from it as well. She managed to break the genjutsu put upon the entire stadium by Kabuto during the Konoha Crush, and was shown easily capable of breaking the genjutsu that had them all trapped during the last movie arc. Her genjutsu resistance technically makes her the perfect counter to Sasuke, whose Sharingan is all about genjutsu. This sometimes seems to be underutilized, and is one of the reasons why she appears to be useless, not because she can't do these things, but because she won't. Medical knowledge. Sakura's ability to utilize medical ninjutsu is nothing short of legendary. Like Sasuke and Naruto, Sakura also trained under one of the legendary Sannin. For the most part, I see Tsunade as Sakura done right, and I wish that the same had been extended to Sakura as well, but alas. Sakura's medical ninjutsu is so prodigious that she was shown capable of nullifying poisons to which nobody had even seen yet, saving Kankuro's life. On more than one occasion, Sakura's abilities saved Naruto's life, as well as the lives of other great shinobi in her village. Sakura was the one who not only healed Naruto, but kept him alive. When Kurama is stripped from Naruto, she literally manually pumps his heart with her bare hands. That's gotta be against a lot of medical practices, especially the concept of reaching into somebody without scrubbing up first, but when in Rome, or on the battlefield I guess. Sakura's prowess in her medical ninjutsu has got to be the crowning jewel of all her achievements, but that's not the only thing she's got going for her. Physical strength. Her physical strength stands head and shoulders above what everyone else besides Tsunade displays while in base form, with very few exceptions. Able to shred the earth with a single strike and ragdolling most fighters with a single point as if she's the next user of One For All. Some of her greatest feats were shown in the battle against Sasori, something we wouldn't really see replicated until the 4th Shinobi World War, which by that time seemed too little too late. There's nothing wrong with her strength in her combat, but I just wish it was more consistent. After the way she flexed on Sasori, for her to be completely blindsided by Karui and Omoi like that makes it almost an anti-feat for Sasori. The way she's displayed later literally drags other strong characters down, because either Sakura is holding back, or two random chunin from Kumo could have soloed the master of puppets himself. Character development. I wasn't sure where to put this, whether I should put it in pros or cons. Considering that she really did grow, she also regressed a lot, which could be either showing her stubbornness or could be chalked up to inconsistent writing. We do know that she eventually did evolve past her need to impress Sasuke and began taking her duties as a shinobi seriously. It's also true that she, in many occasions, saw her characterization shifted without much explanation. So, honestly, I'm not really sure what to do with it. I really respected her decision to try and kill Sasuke, but when she was just sitting there crying while Pain attacked the village, when even Hinata was pulling her weight, literally attacking Pain to rescue Naruto, it seemed like she was absolutely sidelined when she could have shined the most. And to a point, I don't even blame Sakura for this. This sounds like an issue on the part of Kishimoto. All my love to you, Kishimoto, but you dropped the ball on Sakura. Results. So, after a lot of deliberation, it's time to decide. Is Sakura useless, or is she not? My answer to this is this. She's not useless at all, but she is wasted. Her abilities and raw physical strength when compared to other shinobi are nowhere near useless. But if we compare her power to Naruto and Sasuke, she does seem kind of useless. But that goes for just about any character in Naruto and Sasuke's generation when compared to them. Sakura is by far one of the smartest, strongest, and most capable shinobi in all of Konoha, but inconsistent storytelling and being relegated to the role of an emotional amplifier has turned her into a drama queen. Not because she deserves to be, but because Kishimoto needed to make a point on emotional impact, and Sakura ended up being the one stuck pulling that part. It had nothing to do with her abilities or even her personality, as she has shown that when faced with certain questions and issues, she's more than willing to compromise on what she wants for the good of others. Be it cutting her hair, symbolizing the sacrificing beauty for efficiency, the desire to kill Sasuke despite loving him, she has the strength of will and character to make tough choices and hard decisions, as well as the physical strength and talent to enforce these decisions. The main issue is that nobody lets her. She's consistently held back because she has become the symbol of needs. She has become the call to action for Naruto. She's basically the lead trumpeter of Naruto's heralding fanfare. Naruto is the hero, and Sakura is not allowed to let anyone forget that. Sakura has the power and the abilities to completely alter the Naruto universe for better or worse, and because of that, she's sidelined for Naruto, who needs to be the only one to solve the problem. So the answer isn't that she's useless, it's that she's literally too overpowered not to nerf. Sasuke plays the part of antagonist, which means that he needs to cause an issue. Naruto plays the part of protagonist, meaning he needs to be the one to solve these issues. And Sakura, well, she's caught in the middle and must serve as a sort of trophy or princess that the Shining Knights must fight for. It was even to the point that Kishimoto's own wife believed that Sakura should have married Naruto, and why not? Naruto prevailed, so he should get the girl, right? That's the role Sakura was put into, and she cannot transcend this role even if her power scaling puts her on par with Naruto and Sasuke. And that's my opinion. Both sides are right. Sakura is both useless and also best girl, and that's because she's wasted as a character. She could have done more, been more, but her character arcs were never planned to hold what she became, and because of that, despite being easily worthy of walking beside Naruto and Sasuke, she never will because it's just not in her story. I'm interested to hear what you think about Sakura. Do you agree with me? Is she simply wasted? A useful character who was never properly utilized? Or do you think that she truly is just that weak? Do you think she's nowhere near useless? Where do you fall on this spectrum? I look forward to hearing about it. But one request, please. All of this really is just opinion, for me and for you, so please don't snipe or attempt to insult or hurt each other over this. Be kind and remember the main lesson of the Naruto story, which is that love is what we should all strive for instead of hatred and anger. So please, be respectful, but feel free to let us all know about your opinion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when more videos like this drop, and while you wait, take a look at these other great videos by our channel. Until next time, peace out.